This week, Texas A&M takes on Pumpkin Spice Bama.
Jay, hold up. Cut. I'm going to need you to be outside of that pylon.
I'm already outside of the pylon.
I need just take like maybe a quarter step to your right.
All right.
Yeah, I still need, you're on the inside of that pylon. I need you to be on the outside of the pylon.
I am outside the pylon. What do you mean?
I need you outside of the pylon. Otherwise, you're not going to be on the camera.
How far do you want me to go?
All right, take one more step to your right. That's perfect. All right, thanks, Jay.
Howdy, folks. It's Jay Arnold here, and we're back with the second episode of Uncredentialed. This week, it's Texas A&M and Clemson. And in spite of our name, we were able to get Coach Fisher for some hard-hitting questions. Check it out. Hey, Coach, it's Jay. Jay Arnold? From Good Bull Hunting. We've met before. Anyways, Coach, first question I have is, how close do you think I am to getting a media credential?
Not even close. I mean, there's so many things.
Well, that was certainly blunt. Do you think it's cool if I get some of the food from the hospitality room, though?
Okay.
How about you get me credentialed, and we'll get RCB to stop making puns?
Listen, that guy, it's a little bit different ball game now.
Coach, I have a two-part question here. It seems like a pretty big security breach that I was able to get back here. How do you think that happened, and what do you plan to do to the people responding?
I can't tell yet. It's hard to say till I see the film. You know what I mean? I think there's some misses in there that I can't understand where some guys slipped through. But that's going to be expected when you have a couple new guys in there. You know what I'm saying? In the first part of it. So I'll evaluate the film. I don't want to say till I can I'm going off hearsay until I can see the film.
I can see security's coming to escort me out. Is that your doing?
Yeah, it really is.
Hello, folks. It's Professor Jay here. As we all know, college football is all about the business, all about the profit, all about the money. For everyone except the athletes, of course. Which is why you're joining me now for a SWOT analysis of Texas A&M football. That's right. We're going to dive into the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats Texas A&M faces. For our first strength, we're going to talk about one of the core competencies of Texas A&M, the Fortune 500 CEOs.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
Moving on to our next strength, we're going to talk about Texas A&M's core values. Texas A&M football has 5 core values.
That sounds familiar.
Toughness, effort, discipline, pride, which also doubles as one of the 7 deadly sins, and grit.
I take pride in my grits.
Texas A&M as a university also has 6 core values.
Oh, really?
So respect, excellence, leadership, loyalty, integrity, and selfless service.
So 6.
Yeah.
So we have 5 football core values. We should definitely have one more to get to 12, right?
Right. We can't have 11 core values. We do have another core at Texas A&M, the core of cadets.
That's right. 12 core values. There you go.
So just sneak a little 12 in there. So we have our fortune. No pressure.
For our third strength, we have SEC panache. I don't know what that word means, but it sounds great. From what I've heard, SEC teams do a lot of winning.
Act like you give a damn, Jeremy Pruitt.
I think
At least Alabama does.
I think, Jay, it just means you walk around chanting SEC.
Right. Everybody loves that.
All right. The next category is going to be tough, Jay. Can we identify any weaknesses?
No.
Yeah. We're just going to leave it blank?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's try. Let's fake it.
All right. First of all, we're going to go with conference home games. Texas A&M hasn't fared that well in conference home games.
Fortunately, this week we have a non-conference road game.
Our second weakness is no true rivals. Apparently, back in the day before I got to A&M, there was some rivalry with some other in-state school. It's not a real rivalry, according to everyone else.
Guns up.
So, for our third weakness, we have New Army. Basically anyone at A&M that got there after I left. The final weakness is going to be Reveille's lack of communication skills.
I feel like maybe technology will help us bridge that gap in the future.
One day.
Squirrel!
Now let's move on to the external environment Texas A&M faces, talking about the opportunities and threats. First, let's talk about the beginning opportunity on this list. The spiked seltzer boom. Of course, Texas A&M has chosen to go with potential sponsor Bon and Vive.
It's light and refreshing, perfect to drink by any ocean.
For our second opportunity, we're going to talk about available championships. It may be hard to believe, but there are championships out there to be won, whether it's the SEC championship or the national championship.
The Music City Bowl championship.
Yes, or the Chick-fil-A Bowl championship. So our third opportunity is going to be TikTok growth. Now, me personally, being Old Army, I'm more of a Vine guy, but TikTok has really taken off. We're going to see if we can't get some benefit out of that for Texas A&M football. Now we're moving on to the next factor in our external environment for Texas A&M, talking about threats. The first threat is going to be thoughts of Texas. Can't have any of those creeping in. So for our second threat, it's going to be officiating. We all know how much Texas A&M fans love officiating.
Jay, just real quick, do you mind kind of scooching your chair a little bit and getting outside of that pylon?
Right, the pylon.
Yeah, just
Pylon.
a little bit to the right.
Yeah.
Yep, a little more.
It.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. For our third threat, we're going to talk about the green movement. And we mentioned those Fortune 500 CEOs earlier. Obviously, oil and gas, green movement, not really compatible. I'd like to give a chance to shout out potential sponsor Movement Watches. I know that most podcasts have them as a sponsor, so might as well ask.
Why not? How about Blue Apron?
Big fan of Blue Apron, potential sponsor. No free ads, though.
Casper mattresses?
I've never heard of Casper mattresses.
I'm your biggest fan.
One of the biggest mistakes people make is writing down the SWOT analysis, but not matching it up. You got to match up your strengths with your opportunities. You got to look at your weaknesses and how that affects your threats. I have some ideas for how Texas A&M can use this SWOT analysis to help them defeat Clemson. Looking at the SWOT analysis, one of the weaknesses that A&M can get rid of, Reveille's communication skills. Instead, by inserting a Fortune 500 CEO as our mascot, we'll actually be able to get rid of our threat of officiating. Of course, you all know the Fortune 500 CEOs have enough money to pay off the refs. Instead of being the victim of bad calls, it's time to make the bad calls go our way. Now, this next one isn't necessarily going to help us beat Clemson this year, but it will help us to win future national championships. We need to showcase our 12 core values on TikTok, which will help us get the best recruits out there. String, don't get any ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us once again on Uncredentialed. Y'all did a great job of sharing the last episode. We're up over 1,000 subscribers now. We had 2,000 views on the last video. Keep doing that. Keep hitting that subscribe button. Keep hitting the bell to ring for notifications. Keep sharing it with your friends. We'll keep trying to get better. Thanks again, and give it a gig'em.
I was wondering if you'd say it.
Oh, yeah, had to.
Give it a giggle.
Give it a gig'em.
Forwards, fight! Forwards, fight! Fight!